uh, do I feel me playing this game for the same amount of time that I played Horde over the years? No, not at all. Well, what a difference a week makes. So here's my thoughts on the second week of the beta for E-Day Horde. And before I go into what I noticed, there has been a wee update between the two betas, which you may or may not have known, but they did in fact acknowledge the fact that the prototype Lancer was god-awful and increased base damage, but they reduced perfect reload damage. There was also some improved hit detection delays that people were experiencing. Everything else is just what the beta is for. And the other two is what the beta is for as well. But the two big things was the Lancer needed buffed. And playing it in the second week, I don't know whether it was the unlocks that I got with my mods, but or my gun part mods, but I was definitely noticing a lot more actual physical damage to the enemies. I was getting a lot more results. Before, when I was shooting them behind cover, it was doing absolutely nothing to them. Now it was like they felt it. They either went down or it was kind of making them stop shooting or something like that. Before it wasn't doing anything. Now it's a definite improvement. But was that my mods or was that the a mixture of both? Well, what I will say is that it's definitely the a weapon of choice on the rookie setting, at least. I haven't played the other two settings because rookie was recommended, so I stuck with rookie. So week 2, I noticed that I switched my control scheme to the one they want you to play with, and I didn't really use slide that much. I used it maybe once or twice. I found myself accidentally using it more than I intentionally used it. When I thought I was going to slide into cover, I just slid past the hot dog stand that I wanted to use for cover. That is something that will hopefully get less frequent. So the rest of the stuff that happened, I found myself being more focused on picking missions myself and just going to them and just thinking they can follow me or not. If we die, we die. That's it. I'm not bumming around going to the main objective. I'm not following this guy that looks like they're running towards something. I made sure that I was the one running to the objectives, the side objectives first. When I stopped focusing on the other players, I found myself having a much more focused game with less confusion. I would select the map, pick my target, go to that, and if they followed, they followed. That seemed to work quite well. There was still the odd game or two, or a fair few games, where you would just get some idiot just running straight to the main objective and then hitting OK. And then you were like, great, I've just lost my side objectives. I also will say that I had more fun the second week, much more fun the second week than I did the first week. But in, I was off the entire beta time. I could have played it all day, but I didn't want to. I ended up just playing it at the same time that my friend was on, just to play it with them. Because the idea of playing it on my own wasn't really that big a deal to me. I'm happy with the medic. I started upgrading my assault class as well, which is okay, but I definitely prefer the medic for reasons that I'll get into. The cap at 10 really put me off wanting to play. And that is a highlight of, well, when I reach the max level of the medic, will I want to keep playing the game? If I've maxed out now and I don't want to keep playing it, until I get more levels, then the reason for playing this game is just to upgrade. It's just to upgrade and just to become better equipped, get more weapons, get stronger weapons, get stronger health, get more damage, that sort of thing. This is not a good mechanic for wanting to play the game over and over again. You want to have crazy situations where you feel like you're kicking ass and shooting the enemy and all that stuff. You want to feel like that. I really wasn't getting that. There was a couple of times where I was like, oh man, I felt good doing that now. Now that I ran into another group of team. I was the yellow team, they were the green team, I think. And I ran into their couple of their down players and dropped my stim and they all got up. And that felt good. It did. I'll admit that. But that's really rare for that to happen. And so these situations don't happen as much as I would like. Do I feel me playing this game for the same amount of time that I played Horde over the years? No, not at all. Not at all. There is a definite lifespan to this game, and it's not long. In this current state, it's not long. So there's a couple of points that I want to go through. So I watched a couple of videos about tips to enjoy the game better, and I honestly I can't remember the person, and I'm really sorry for not taking note of your name, but this person said pay attention to your map, and he was right. When before the doors open, I hit my map button. I see where the players are. I can't quite see the missions yet, but as soon as the doors open, I'm looking on the map, looking where the nearest secondary mission is, and I'm tagging that with the map. Being able to tag something on your map instead of just tagging it while aiming at it is really important in this game. It's really important in this game to be able to just know where things are because the maps are so huge. Like I said, the maps don't need to be this big. The ability to tag things on the map was massive. The map was very, very useful. And also the idea of picking secondary objectives near those teams kind of steered me towards that, because if it is bad, if it is a difficult mission or something like that, at least you've got those other guys there as well. All the ammo boxes are in front or behind the the centaur tanks. I think it's a centaur, the tank. So if you see a tank on the road or somewhere in the map, the ammo caches or ammo boxes are there. So that was much easier to just remember where the ammo boxes are by seeing the tank off in the distance and going, okay, I'm going to go there. That was really useful, especially for the gut puncher, which is the next thing. When I was playing a low-level medic and I hadn't unlocked the frags or the gut puncher, the difficulty in the game or having to rely on other players to blow up the e-holes was frustrating. It was very difficult. And so when I'm one person jumping into a team and you can't, I can't remember, but I don't think you can change your class before the doors open. But going a different class and not having the gut puncher or the frag grenades is quite frustrating. When I unlocked the gut puncher for the medic, it became very clear, and I also think this person also said this too. The the gut puncher and the medic hand in hand. There's do not get another gun. Get your lancer and get your gut puncher, because that is an absolute game changer for the e-holes. Even the higher targets, higher priority targets, just launching the gut puncher at them, standing beside an ammo box, just launch, reload, launch, reload, launch, reload, and just keep doing that. Is something else, especially if you can just pop your stim down in front of you to buy yourself some more time or to get you out of danger. What I do with the medic is when a wave starts or whatever, I will run out to the e-holes if I can make it in time, I'll pop them and then I'll go back. But if I think I'm gonna get hit, I'll throw my stim, pop them, and then run back. And it just makes things so much easier. That especially if you're playing on your own and you're joining in, the medic is fantastic. If you want to rely on other players, go the other classes. But if you don't trust, wow, that was a loud car. If you don't trust the other team, you don't trust the other players that you're going to play with, medic will cover your back. It'll make things easier for you. There is still a lack of bosses. You can go through a couple of missions a time and not get any Brumac or anything like that. You can get a Brumac, but somebody's already hit the extraction thing, or the Brumac's miles away, or you just don't think your team's going to be able to do it, or not so much Brumac, but like a corpse or whatever. The bosses just aren't there yet. Not quite there yet. We need more bosses. Completing side missions. So what I've noticed about side missions is that when you pick one and complete it, you can pick another one and complete it, and then they all disappear, and then you have to do your main mission after that. And then once you've done your main mission, side missions pop up again, and then you can do a couple before you have to go to your extraction. So there's an upper limit of the amount of secondary missions that you can do. The side missions don't tell you whether you're going to get gun parts or whether you're going to get energy, as far as I can see. You're like, I've finished games. I've finished games being extracted, sitting on $4,000 because it just wasn't necessary. $4,000 energy redo. 4,000 energy for no reason. Like there's no need to spend the money. I'll try to get the mortar sentries set up and all that stuff, but there's little need for the energy on rookie. Also, the picking up the energy thing, I, I don't want to say it's a bit old. When you're The whole point with energy in horde mode was that it drew you out of the base in order to get the high value energy. But as far as I can see, the energy value doesn't shrink. And also, you're not as hunkered down as you used to be. It's a lot more running around. So why do you need the energy to be there? Why can't the people just pick up the energy? Like absorb the energy as soon as they kill the thing. I don't see the point in having to go pick it up in this version of the game. I just don't. There's a lot of people just leaving energy just going. Just I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to go this way now, and they don't pick it up. So, like, that's it's not like on one side the energy isn't that important. On the other side, it's not important enough to go collect. So, what's the point of having it? It's like it's damned if it does and damned if it doesn't. So is it worth having or is it worth taking out or changing? It's it's a bit weird. The cap on side missions. If you start a game and you're very close to your main objective, you run the risk of some idiots starting your main objective straight away and you miss the first tranche of side missions that you could have done. Now, obviously, you're having to work around idiot players, but having the cap so low, like 2 missions or whatever, losing half of your missions because somebody wants to go to the main mission straight away, having that happen, that is really frustrating. Maybe it should be more that the side missions aren't necessarily side missions. They are first objective, second objective, third objective, and then you have 5 objectives. 2 small missions where you get the gun parts, and then the main objective, which is harder. think maybe that might be something that they can look into, because letting some random person that either doesn't know what they're doing or doesn't care, having them ruin your run or ruin your chances of collecting lots of gun parts is very frustrating, and it doesn't necessarily make you want to waste another 50 minutes trying again. I will also say, before going to the last point, uh, I will say that I'm collecting much more gun parts now that I've played more selfishly. Now that I'm just going, screw it, I'm going to this side mission and you can follow me. Now that I'm doing that and being more bossy, I'm picking up much more gun parts. I'm also picking up more gun parts if I'm lucky enough to get a boss wave. And currently, this will change in the main game, but because I knew what character I wanted to play, and I only had a short amount of time to play it, I ended up collecting more gun parts and not spending them because there's nothing for me to spend them on. I've got the mods that I want. Like I said, there's only 4 mods you can use. And I've got the nearly 4 that I wanted. So I didn't want to piss them away on other smaller classes or lesser classes because I don't know what's in the main game. So there was no drive for me to spend it. And I think spending the gun parts on the characters and skins and stuff when they come out might be a good reason to kind of compel me to play. But it's finite. Eventually, it'll stop, and it'll have to be the fun of the game, and that's just not going to happen. I played Horde with my friend on the last night of the beta, and we did the Horde mission, and we went through multiple waves, and the waves were so short, so short. Like, I would go out with the gut puncher, boom, 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 get those 3 e-holes. He would get the other e-hole with a frag grenade. We were next to a supply crate. We were next to ammo box. We were next to the rig. And the boss, oh, here comes the boss. It was a frog. Okay. Is that a frog that I just see on the street sometimes? Right. Where's the, you know, I know you can't put in like carriers and snatchers and stuff, but we could have had we could have had a baby corpser. We could have had other things. We could have had blood mounts. We could have had a bunch of these things, but we didn't. Still some work to do. Lots of work to do. I had fun playing Siege. I had more fun playing Siege than I did Escape. Well done. Do I want Horde in the game? Yes. Do I want Horde Siege in the game? I'm fine with it being in the game. I don't want it to be the only PvE mode. I really don't. There's other PvE modes that are more fun, and I want them instead. I want Horde Frenzy, I want Horde Mania, I want Boss Rush, I want regular Horde, I want Classic Horde, I want all of those hordes. I don't want to just have Horde Siege. Horde Siege has its moments, but it's not something that I want to play every night, 5 days a week, 5, 6, 7 days a week. It really isn't. So yeah, it was better than last week. So yeah, there you go. I wouldn't say this is a rant, but just a wee update on how I felt the Gears went. But that's that. Bit a bit bittersweet, to be honest. I'm looking forward to the campaign. Maybe the multiplayer will change. I hope it does, because it's not started off well. But Gears of War 5 didn't start off well either. So there's hope. Right, that's that. I'll see you in a bit. Bleh. Bleh. Bleh.